So I will call one of you here. I want to. Okay, you may have a difficulty to come on the focus place of the camera. Anyhow, it's out of focus. You come with the notes, and you slowly read aloud what we did in the last class. We wrote a letter, oh?
No.
No? Okay. So you have notes, I guess. Loudly class, like you read out what we did in the previous class. Who would like to come? Okay, you come. You are not being recorded, okay? Read loudly. Open the mask and read loudly.
Can I not?
आवाज सफा हुन्छ कि मास्क सिक्दाखेरि आवाज क्लियर आउँदैन. Yes.
So in the beginning of the class, we discussed about our subject course, name and the code. Then after that, we were told to search the word discourse. Then the discourse meaning was, so the meaning of discourse is writing on something. Then we were clarified about the given word. And then we discussed about the genre that is studied in this subject. After that, we were told to list out the genre and theme of the subject, in which there were 4 essays in one theme. From the first essay, we came to know that it was a dialogue rather than an essay. Again, we shortly discussed about what dialogue means, and at the last, we came to know about the meaning of Socratic method of teaching and learning.
Okay, thank you. Did you also write a number of questions to research at home? At the end of the class, right? Like I said, go home and do Bing search and find these things. Did anyone do that? Did someone do that research? Garin? Kole garin? Okay. I asked someone to open a group page yesterday. Kole banathe? You didn't open the page, and even this morning I was looking for the page because I wanted to send you some slides to read at home. I want any medium to communicate with you easily on Facebook. Like a group page, for example. For example, that class has their group, and I can easily post materials on that group. So if you have a group, if you already have a group, send me and what do you make me join the group? I don't know. You have added in Facebook? Messenger? I didn't get any notification. I didn't get my Facebook profile name is Divakar Upadhyay Aryal. And you will see the sticky profile picture, not a real picture. Sticky, a picture made of sticks. I use an avatar in my profile, not the real picture. Okay, yes. Yes, that is. Yes. Yes, that one. Okay, so let's start today's class. So, the first unit in our course is philosophy. Okay? So let's understand the word philosophy and then we'll get into the chapter. The word philosophy is composed of 2 syllables, philo and sophy. Philo and sophy. It means the love of wisdom. Philosophy means the love of wisdom. There is a beautiful novel which I will recommend you to read. The novel is Sophie's World. Sophie's World by I guess, I'm not sure, I guess Justinus Gardner or just Gardner. This is a novel about philosophy. So if anybody in this class is looking for an interesting way to read this serious topic, you can choose to read the novel Sophie's World. In this novel, there is Sophia or Sophie, a young child, 14, 15-year-old child. She writes letters to a teacher, and the teacher explains what philosophy is through a story. Okay, leave that. Just in case you're looking for something to read. Now, in Sanskrit, the word for philosophy is darshan. Darshan. And the word darshan comes from the root drish. Drish. And drish means to see or something that is seen, or it means to be enlightened. To be enlightened. To understand something. To understand something. To see the truth. To know the truth. To know the reality. This is what the word philosophy means. Now, when you say that philosophy is the love of wisdom, so how do you gain wisdom? How do you gain wisdom? You gain wisdom through your intellect. Intellect, I-N-T-E-L-L-E-C-T. From this we have the word intellectual. When somebody has high degrees, and when they appear very learned, you say they are intellectuals, right? You call them intellectual. The word intellectual comes from the intellect. So, intellectual is one who has high level of intellect. And intellect means understanding. It means understanding. Now, intellect also means imagination. The word intellect also means imagination. The word intellect also means reasoning. So, philosophy is knowing the truth through reasoning. Knowing the truth through reasoning. Philosophy can be defined as knowing the truth through reasoning. Is that clear to you? So far I explained the word philosophy. Philosophy. The love of wisdom. And I said wisdom is understanding. Wisdom is intellect. Wisdom is reasoning. Wisdom is imagination. Now, this dialogue, the allegory of the cave, is an allegory. An allegory is a story that aims to teach you a moral lesson. What is an allegory? A story or other genre that aims to teach you what? Moral lesson. Okay. The allegory of the cave. There are many themes in this dialogue. The dialogue presents many themes. One of the themes is how do we know the truth? How do we know the truth? Or how do we know reality? Right? This is also known as Plato's concept of cognition or knowledge making. What did you write? The idea of cognition or knowledge making. Cognition. C-O-G-N-I-T-I-O-N. Cognition. The word cognition, we have also have the word cognize. And from cognize we have recognize. Recognize. We have the word cognitive. We have the word cognitive ability. Right now in this class, probably, I believe, you are understanding what I'm saying. If you are understanding what I'm saying, you have better cognitive ability. So cognition means our ability to know something. What does cognition mean? Our ability to know something. If I speak Chinese right now, many of you might fail to understand me because you do not have the cognition of Chinese language. You don't know Chinese. Okay. Now, how do we know something? Okay. Can you move the camera where I'm going? It's all right. Hello? Right? I cannot see, right? So, because I cannot see, so how do I, oh, how do I know things? I'm using, hello? I'm using what sense? Touch. Touch. Right? I cannot see, and I want to know what I'm holding in my hand. I can smell the chemical. I know this is ink now, marker. Through smell. Through smell. Most of us know anything using our senses. Using our senses. For example, how do we know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know something by seeing it, right? We know something by listening to it, right? We know something, seeing, listening by touching. How? By touching. We know something by smelling. We know something by tasting, right? You may taste coffee, the quality of coffee, by sipping it. You may smell perfume before you buy. You may touch the quality of cloth before you purchase fabric. You may see the map before you decide to go there. This way of making knowledge is known as what? What do we call it? Sensory perception. What have I written there? What perception? Sensory perception, okay. Now, Plato would argue that sensory perception cannot tell us the truth. Sensory perception cannot tell us reality. We cannot know truth or reality through sensory perception. Why? Why? Because our senses are limited to the realm of the visible. Wait, don't worry, wait. I know it might get difficult for you. Wait, don't worry. I said, Plato would argue we cannot know the truth or reality through senses. Why? Plato would answer, because senses can know only the visible. Now let me draw a line here. A vertical line. Let me divide this line into unequal parts. And again, divide it further in unequal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure. Wait. Now let me write here. the realm of the visible. The realm of the visible. Let me here. The realm of the intelligible, or the realm of the intellect, the realm of the intellect versus the realm of the senses. Now this area, this is our material world. This is our material world. The world we know through our senses. The world we know through our senses. Right? Now this part, let's say, we can call the ideal world, or the ideas, or the universal forms. So let me write here. It is idea versus the material or the concrete. Earlier we were raising the question, why does Plato say that we cannot know the truth through the five senses? We were beginning with this question, and we said that to answer this question, why does Plato think we cannot know the reality through senses, we need to first understand Plato's concept of the divided line. We call this as the concept of the divided line. What do we call it? What do we call it? The concept of, there is a line and it is divided, right? And it is also known as Plato's theory of cognition. What do we call it? What do we call it? Plato's theory of cognition. Say it. The theory about how we know. The theory about how we know. Let me explain this theory. It is very complex. I'll try my best to make it simple for you. And listen carefully, you will get it. I hope you will get it. So, we have this material world where natural sciences operate. Where natural sciences operate, like physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, geography. Our world is governed by natural science, right? When we become sick, we go to doctor. We don't go to a shaman. We go to a doctor. And the doctor gives us medicine, right? Natural science. How is knowledge created in natural science? And there's another critical question. How is knowledge created in natural science? Let me tell you. Knowledge in natural science is created through hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing. Example means, there is a hospital, maternity ward A, there is a corridor, there is maternity ward B. We have a hospital. We have a hospital where women come to deliver babies. It's a maternity hospital. It's normal. Things are going fine. But all of a sudden, things become tricky. And what happens? Women who come to deliver babies in maternity wards, these women start developing fever. They start developing fever. And after 3 days, many of them die. They deliver baby, they come to hospital normal, they come normal. And then they deliver the baby. After delivering the baby, they develop fever. Within 3 days, they die. If a patient dies in a hospital, it's a serious problem, right? Because we go to hospital to survive. And if he dies, it's a problem. Now, what is happening? We have a problem. We have a problem. Women are dying out of fever in a hospital. We have a problem. What do we have? Problem. Or this problem is also called as a condition. It is also called as a condition. We also call it as effect. We also call it as effect. We have a condition or effect or a problem. Now, what do we do whenever we have a problem? Whenever we have a problem, what is the first thing we do? We wonder. We wonder. We wonder and ask, oh, why? We say, why? We say, why? I mean, we look for cause. We look for cause. Whenever we have a problem, what do? We look for cause, right? We look for what? Cause. Do you think that in our real life, we easily and quickly get the cause? No. Normally, we don't find out the cause. Right? So here also, the doctor asked, why are these women dying? Why are these women dying? And they didn't have an obvious cause. Now, when you do not see an obvious cause for a condition, what do? What do? There is a problem and you ask why it is happening. And you don't see an obvious cause. So what do? You start imagining. You start like this. Oh, it might have happened because. It might have happened because. You start imagining because. Because. What is because? B-E-B plus C-A-U-S-E cause. Because means something that causes something. What is because? Something that causes something. I got a flat tire because of a nail on the road. Because the nail causes the flat tire. See the word because. The word because comes from B-E-B plus C-A-U-S-E cause. To be the cause of something. The nail is cause of my flat tire. So I say I have a flat tire because of the nail. Now doctors will say, now this, I said, when you have a problem, you ask a question why. But you don't find an answer, right? And when you do not find an answer, you start imagining. This imagining process is known as, we call it as call it as, take a mobile phone. Take a mobile phone, quickly. Google the word hypothesize. Google the word hypothesize. Google the word hypothesize. Quickly. Google the word hypothesize. And note the meaning. And note the meaning. Note the meaning. Hypothesize. Google the word hypothesize. And note the meaning. Write down. Write down the meaning. Google the word hypothesize and write the meaning. Done? Please also note down the meaning in your diary. Okay, once you note down the meaning of the word hypothesize, also check the word hypothesis. Check the word hypothesis. Check the word hypothesis. Check the word hypothesis and note the meaning. And note the meaning. Check the word hypothesis. Hypothesis and write the meaning. A supposition of? Okay, a supposition or proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation. That's a very good definition. Please note down. He has a definition, very good definition of hypothesis that will help us understand. We form knowledge in natural sciences through hypothesis. A hypothesis is a supposition or proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation. You have a problem, and you suppose an explanation for the problem. Women who come to maternity ward, they deliver baby and they develop fever and they die within 3 days. They die within 3 days. We have a problem. Now, we will suppose or propose an explanation. Now, I want someone to give us an explanation. Just can you guess what was the real reason? No, what was the reason they were dying? Why were they dying? Why do you think the women died? Yeah. Okay, one guess is they must have, I guess he says, an infection problem. What else? Okay, one guess. They might have infection. What else? Wild guess one, huh? No doctor, okay. Okay, no doctor. Okay, good. Good guessing. They died because no doctor attended them. Good. Yeah. No. No nuts. No nuts. What else? Hello. Your explanations should not give the impression that you belong to class 3. You are undergraduate students. Make wise explanations. Yes. Okay. They didn't get proper. Okay, let me. This afternoon, I will mail you a one-page story. This is a real story about Dr. Semmelweis' invention of medicine in Vienna Hospital, Austria. And it really happened. And this story tells how science functions through hypothesis. Listen to me. So look, we have now 4 or 5, 3 explanations, right? Now once you have, look, a hypothesis is proposed explanation. What is hypothesis? Where is the copy? A hypothesis is a proposed explanation, but it has limited evidence and it needs to be further investigated. It needs to be further investigated. Now answer me a question. In the material world, you have hypothesis, which is a proposed explanation. We are not sure. How do you investigate it? How do you investigate a hypothesis in natural world? How do you investigate any hypothesis? You investigate any hypothesis through sensory knowledge. Through sensory knowledge. You investigate the hypothesis by your eyes, under the microscope, through your ears, you talk to people and ask questions, through smell, taste, touch. Hello. Your means of testing a hypothesis are sensory. What do we call it? Sensory. And any knowledge that is gained from senses is known as experiential knowledge. What do we call it? Experiential knowledge. EXPERIENCITIAL. Based on experience. Based on experience. And how do we experience? We experience through our senses. We experience through our senses. You must have experienced it, right? Look, she experienced pain because of the touch, right? So, we experience through senses. We experience through senses. So our only way to investigate, our proposed explanation is sensory. It is sensory. And Plato says, truth is beyond the senses. Truth is beyond tomorrow I will call someone here again with a copy, and you will read from the copy the summary of this class. Assignment at home on a single page, summarize what I said in class today, summarize what I did in class today. I'll upload this video by evening, and I request you to subscribe the channel, help me get more audience, watch the videos if you need to, and write a one-page class summary. We'll continue the talk tomorrow. Thank you.